And welcome back to the On the Recipe and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10 coming from over here in England this week. And yeah, we've got 3 hours today. We've got the first hour of Collision on the show as well. So yeah, a lot going on. Obviously the Continental Classic is continuing, and we kicked off with the Blue League, John Moxley taking on Roderick Strong. And yeah, Strong wore down Mox with his signature onslaught of backbreakers, but the Death Riders refused to give up. He caught the Messiah of the backbreaker with the paradigm shift for the victory. Strong and Mox always are good together, and a hot crowd in Manchester certainly sold the energy of this latest clash of rivals. This was mostly forgettable in comparison to the high standards set by other matches in the tournament, but it was still a strong technical showcase for both. It was a telling result for the C2, giving Mox an outside chance to advance in the tournament while Strong was eliminated with 2 matches left. Most of the time this wouldn't be surprising, except the recent booking indicated the Death Riders leader has lost his mojo. Instead it reaffirmed he's still great, even with a few losses. All indications are the Death Riders will turn against their leader. So yeah, it'll be intriguing. Strong meanwhile is clearly established as the pin eater, but hopefully he can play spoiler against Claudio next week. But yeah, 5 out of 10 for me, pretty predictable. Moving on then to the Elite, who look to like they're all themselves together, again fighting as a team, while the other Callis family struggled to stay on the same page. After sending out Okada and Takeshita, they hit Hechera, BT Trigger, V-Trigger, and associated the One-Winged Angel for the victory. Don Callis did not want to give out the $1 million, while the Rainmaker and the Alpha beat down Omega and the Bucks. Rick Knox got the money while the Cleaner ran off arguing with the heels with a broom. Unsurprisingly, this was an excellent battle between 6 of the best. Hechera especially showed out despite arguably being the least established, while Omega will forever be medically kind of compromised. This was definitely a great spot for him. He looked like the old Cleaner in his best moments while avoiding taking too many bumps. Okada and Takeshita have so much chemistry as a team, even when they use it to argue. It's a shame they're likely not working together for much longer. Luckily the Bucks are wrestling as good as they ever have done, and it's always great to see them in action. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Samoa Joe then, flanked by Hook and Hobbs, confidently signed a contract for their World's End match. Swerve admitted to his respect for the Cowboy and genuine hatred for the Samoan submission machine. Hangman declared that he was ready to defend his title one-on-one against everyone who helped him defeat the Death Riders, including Swerve, but every changed when Joe betrayed him. After everyone had signed, MJF arrived to sign the Casino Gauntlet to add himself to the World End's title match. He explained that he wanted this match to hurt the Cowboy, to beat him and 2 of his greatest rivals on the same night. They started strong with Joe, Swerve and Hangman each delivering mic content. However, the arrival changed the dynamic and made him the one to beat. He went long, but that's typical for MJF. The crowd certainly didn't mind, and I think yeah, the 4-way could go anyway, which is extra exciting. So yeah, can't wait for that. Good stuff. As we then moved on to the Babes of Wrath and the Timeless Loved Ones versus Monet, Athena and Mega Problems. This was a competitive battle between 4 of the best women's teams in AEW, leading to a chaotic pace. Athena caught Willow with the O-face out of nowhere to allow Monet to pin her for the victory. Everyone was working hard to deliver an action-packed match, and it was never less than great. They could have had more time though. It would have been tough to find time with such a tightly packed show, but the finish was a surprise and immediately thrust the CEO and Forever Champion back into title contention. A smart finish for the defence of the Babes of Wrath, as their match with Monet and Athena was definitely match of the tournament, and a rematch would be great. It could push Monet and Athena into full conflict and a potential singles match, which would be fantastic. So yeah, intriguing possibilities. I'll go at 6 out of 10. We then got Pac versus Fletcher in the Gold League, and the physical offense of Pac wore down Fletcher over the course of this match until he finally had the open, sealed it with a top rope poison rana, followed by a Black Arrow to win. Somehow this was the best, both the weakest match of Fletcher's C2 and one of the best in the tournament. It's testament to his consistency. This was less flashy than previous rounds, setting of Pac's viciousness wearing him down. That was the perfect match for the late stage of the tournament, whereas everyone should be physically wearing thin. The opening wins of Fletcher sent a false narrative that he was the leader of the Gold League, but after back-to-back losses, he's suddenly looking in. Pac's lost to Okada, but actually has a clearer path to winning the bracket after this victory. Other than the Rainmaker advancing, it feels like anyone could go through, which, yeah, great stuff. 8 out of 10. As we then moved on to the Diamond Ring Battle Royal, the Demand attacked Brody Lee before the match could begin to weaken the former world champions. It didn't deter them though. The match came down to King eliminating himself and Tio alone to set the stage for Bandido to eliminate Bishop Khan, giving the win to himself and Ricochet. For how stacked AEW's roster in this was kind of smaller than I expected. The talent involved tried to tell a clear story. This led to many men on the outside for stretches, almost treating it like a gauntlet. The quality was not on a level, feeling much smaller scale in terms of who was involved. Battle Royals have never really worked well with AEW style. Still, the story was strong and consistent, selling once again that Ricochet will do anything to seal the win, and he pulled it off once more. The one and only who could make sense to carry the Dynamite Diamond Ring into 2026, given his massive heel hat, though it would be more satisfying for Bandido to knock him down a peg. It would be nice to see fresher names in the spot, though, as both are already champions with plenty of story behind them. It's not been fully explained yet how MJF sees all of this, as he has won the ring every other year, so yeah, that'll be intriguing. But yeah, for me, lots of questions remain over it, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. We then got Mascara Dorado versus Orange Cassidy in the Blue League, and after a fast-paced friendly battle, Cassidy caught Dorado with a seatbelt pin for the victory. This was a different style of CT match than much of the tournament, which made it stand out. Freshly squeezed met the luchador with his own style. It's fast-paced and focused more on cloud-pleasing spots and pure dramatics. It made the ending unpredictable. It would have been nice to see Dorado pick up more momentum off his win against Claudio, as he had so much breakout potential in AEW with stronger booking. However, Cassidy is one of those made men in AEW that can defeat anyone, is now a more dramatic opponent for Moxley's final fight of the C2. It's hard to imagine Cassidy advancing into the semi-finals, but it's not an unreasonable possibility, so yeah, just keeps the question open. 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to Jamie Hayter versus Isla Dawn, the crowd support for Dawn gave her the will to fight hard, but the number one contender put her down with the Haterade. They showed respect until the trial of madness arrived. Stat arrived to send them packing, but Hayter accidentally caught the champ with a Haterade. A decent sprint, somewhat passing the bar of a pure squash, but there was never really going to be any drama. Still, Dawn has done well with the opportunities she had. The problem with this segment was there wasn't not the match, but rather the aftermath. Of less than 2 weeks, it doesn't really feel like it's a very good story yet. It's too much focus on the triangle of madness, which would work better if it was a triple threat going into it with Thecla in the running. The accidental collision sells that the two are far from friends, but yeah, it's not developed enough. They need a few more weeks, and Stat and Hayter will make the most of the spotlight and deliver a great match, but the storyline just isn't there, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Moving on then to the main event, FTR versus Bang Bang Gang for the tag titles. Robinson and Gunn pushed the FTR to the limit, nearly winning off a famous attacks. However, Cash got taxes for on the rope. In the chaos of a near fall afterwards, FTR took out Austin and went after the surgically repaired ankle of Juice, forcing a tap out with a figure four. FTR always deliver the drama and make their opponent look great, and there were multiple points in this contest where it felt like the Bang Bang Gang might pull off a shock win. In the end, it wasn't going to happen, but Juice especially looks great, and you know, there's a great match with FTR. It may be too late to get FTR on a well-done card, but there's definitely some intriguing matches there. So yeah, good stuff. 8 out of 10. And overall, Dynamite this week, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I would say it's a pretty mixed episode of Dynamite. There was a lot on there, certainly, that we packed in. Big fan of MJF coming back. It's now being a 4-way at World's End is very good. I think we're building up towards some intriguing stuff at World's End. So yeah, good stuff. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.